Don Lemon is not a journalist. He's in the same business I am. He's an opinion journalist, which means that he covers the news with a political perspective. The difference is I don't lie to you about it, and Don Lemon does. And so Don Lemon says, to be a journalist means that you have to evaluate the claims that you disagree with, and then you have to never give them coverage again because they're bad.
We sit around and we talk about these things, and we want to give this false equivalence to Democrats and Republicans. That is not where we are right now. Republicans are doing something that is very dangerous to our society, and we have to acknowledge that. We have to acknowledge that as Americans. We must acknowledge that as journalists, because if we don't, we're not doing our jobs. We cannot sit here and pretend like, well, Republicans, cut them a break. We want to hear whatever. They have a lot to answer for in this moment.
I mean, he is, because he's saying the quiet part out loud. And here's the thing. There's also a bias among journalists in favor of this position. The younger you are and the more left-leaning you are, the more you believe this. Roughly 6 in 10 U.S. journalists aged 18 to 29, that's 63%, say every side does not always deserve equal coverage. 37% of journalists in the age range say journalists should strive to cover all sides equally. Those numbers change noticeably for journalists 50 and older. So if you're an older generation of Democrats, then you tend to believe that journalists are supposed to, journalism at a certain point. But if you're a younger Democrat, you don't believe that. Instead, the journalists are focusing on activism.